Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Cecilia, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from NorthStar Gaming Holdings. Please note you can submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome Michael Moskowitz, CEO and founding partner of NorthStar Gaming, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol NSBBF and on the TSXV under the symbol BET. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much. Good to be here. I'd like to do a couple of things today. One is introduce the company itself to new body of investors, yourself, talk about the business itself, the foundation of the business, and then talk about a little bit of the future and what we have in store. So let's get started with that. The first thing I want to mention, just as we kicked off the business, it's very unique. We are spearheading the intersection point of iGaming and media. We looked at this as being the foundation of our product and our thinking and our vision from the very early days, and obviously have evolved from there, which we'll talk about. What I want to talk about before we actually get into some details is actually the investment highlights. There's some really interesting things happening in this space, and I think we're very well positioned. The first is this market is massive. In the Canadian market alone, it's an $8.5 billion TAM. Our NorthStar brand is now being offered in the province of Ontario and the rest of Canada. We launched in May of 2022, just after the market was regulated in Ontario. And then we launched a new product, a .com product that gives us access to the rest of Canada in November of 2023. So really exciting, and the market itself is huge, and we will talk about that in a little more detail. The second is we're supported by industry-leading third-party gaming and content. This is absolutely critical. We have the best-in-class tech partners that are behind us. We'll show you the stack, but it's one of the competitive advantages that we have, and then customization on top of that. But the best of breed in terms of content, in terms of gaming partners and tech. One of those partners is Playtech. They're also a cornerstone investor of NorthStar Gaming. As they invested in the Canadian market, they look to position themselves in this market with strength, and then chose NorthStar to partner with and invest with. They invested over $23 million plus marketing to support that, but a very strong partner, and they're the largest B2B software iGaming company in the world. Number four is we've got a very strong executive team, a very experienced executive team across a number of different disciplines, technology, media, and iGaming, of course. And you'll see that both on the management team, but also on the board itself. When you look at around the business and performance, we've got really attractive payback ratios and rates. As we acquire players, we're acquiring them at a reasonable cost, but our player values are extremely high, and we'll show you that. That's a testament to the product itself and how we've laid the foundation for very high player value with a very unique user experience. The business model itself is a variable model. There are clearly fixed costs in this model around people and resources, but it's highly scalable. And what I mean by that is there's very high operating leverage as we move and we acquire new players and we grow this business. So as we grow, our partners grow in this variable model. So it's relatively low investment up front for the great tech stack, but as you get over that break-even point, you got a lot of gravy. So we'll talk about that. So 6 points that I'd like you to remember over the course of this presentation. This is just a look at the management team. You can see just by the logos, again, strong iGaming background, very strong on the content and the media side, and then very strong on the tech side as well. I mean, clearly, people are our assets, our greatest asset, and we were able to pull together a very strong team to ensure that we launch this product with great steam. And the same is true also for our board. You can see that, fairly large board. Two of them are actually from Playtech, which is our strategic partner. One of them is the CFO, and the other is general counsel, providing really fantastic guidance around our business and our operations. But the others are deeply rooted in gaming and sports and the consumer business, all great attributes as we built the business from scratch. What I want to talk about here is a little more granularity around the business itself, the market itself. As I mentioned, the total TAM of the market is $8.5 billion as it comes up to maturity. There are two parts to this. Obviously, the regulated business, which is in Ontario, that's a $3.3 billion TAM, and then the overall market, as I mentioned, is $8.5 billion. So we have focused on Ontario first, and then we rolled out a strategy to encompass the rest of Canada. The other thing that I'd like to note here is the regulated Ontario market is on track for $3 billion in Q2 of 2024. It hit $725 million, quite significant. And just looking at the breakdown of the business, iGaming is essentially casino, which is about 2/3 of the business, and then sports betting is about 1/3. But that's the breakdown of the business. And this is a reflection of our technology and our partners. Some of these brands you probably haven't heard of, but as I mentioned, Playtech is the largest B2B software company in this space and operate in multiple jurisdictions globally and have helped us and support us along the way as it relates to managed services, knowledge, and tech. Kambi, who provides our sportsbook technology, is the largest, one of the largest sports books in the world, and they actually they own 40% of the handle in North America. So very large player. And then we've integrated other gaming partners, IGT and microgaming, into our stack. We've got over 650 games today, the best and the most popular games, and building upon that. And then we've layered on all of our digital marketing and our tech stack. So if you looked at this from kind of the inside, this is the best of breed technology, and then we've layered on all of our customization on top of this to give you a fantastic experience in the Canadian market. I want to talk a little bit about differentiated product, business model. It's a very large market. We understand that 80% of the market or so is taken by large international brands that you've probably seen. But there's 20% of the market that is very niche, very local, and that is a significant slice of the overall pie. It's about 1.3 billion in total, and just to put it in perspective, if you're 3% of the market overall, it's a $200 million business, and if you're breaking even somewhere around $50 or $60 million, you can see that there's significant gravy on top of that. But I wanted to show the positioning of our brand within a smaller niche market, but yet it's still a significant opportunity for growth and expansion. And part of that differentiation, which we'll talk about shortly, is our content. But that's really driving quite low payback ratios. So what this is telling you is that our payback is, for us, it's about 2.1 months. So that is essentially the investment that we make in acquiring a player, and then how many months that takes us to get back that money that we've invested in acquiring that player. And because our player values are extremely high, we've got a lower payback ratio. And if you compare that to other competitors in the market, while attracting players at lower values or higher costs essentially means higher months before payback. So lower payback for NorthStar bets. And some of that is due to the fact that we have a unique business offering. We've uniquely designed our product that we've integrated content insights into our betting experience, and that has driven a really slick, unique environment where we've got betting content that's tied directly into our betting environment, right through from the initial setup right through to the bet slip. And 2+ years in, we're seeing significant performance from that and the uniqueness. We're seeing higher average deposits overall. We're seeing higher online casino turnover with those crossover players from sports into casino. We're seeing higher total GGR, which is gross gaming revenue, and sports betting turnover. So it's really lifting our overall value of our players, and the stickiness of this content is really a uniqueness that we have in our market, and it comes from some of our legacy that we have in the media business. And so what I'd like to do now is, coming off of this, just show you a quick video describing our business and our experience. Here you go.
When NorthStar Bets was created in 2021, there were few knowns about Ontario's plans for a regulated iGaming market. In many ways, NorthStar Bets was staring at a blank slate. One certainty was that Ontario would be one of the most lucrative and competitive markets in North America, leaving a startup like NorthStar Bets playing David up against several deep-pocketed global gaming Goliaths. In order for NorthStar to win, differentiation would be critical. But how? And with what? The answer lied in the company's DNA: content. Through a marketing services deal with NorthStar, casino and sports betting articles produced by NorthStar's in-house staff writers are published daily across NorthStar's vast digital network. Leveraging NorthStar's significant search engine authority, NorthStar's betting articles are easily discoverable by high-intent gamblers. Embedded in the articles are numerous high-performing text links that feed players further down NorthStar's conversion funnel. NorthStar's content is also found within its own app and website under its industry-leading Sports Insights vertical. Sports Insights offers a variety of content designed to create frequent and highly engaged bettors. And unlike content created by other sportsbooks, NorthStar's content is available within the same product as its sportsbook and casino, offering seamless bet slip integration and an unmatched user experience. Sports Insights also provides NorthStar with additional opportunities to further promote casino play and advertise other special offers across the site. The result? NorthStar Bets players who read Sports Insights content not only like it, but they are more profitable players than non-readers, and they deposit significantly more on average overall. Now that's a win.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully that gave you a summary of the business from start. And to be honest, we've learned a tremendous amount along the way as our marketing becomes even more efficient quarter by quarter. What I'd like to do now is talk about some of the most recent highlights and what we're doing, and it gives you a little bit of a snapshot of where we're going as well. We announced Q1. We will announce Q2 mid-August. But we do have some highlights. One is we raised another $3 million short-term funding from our strategic partner Playtech, who has invested with us in the business. And we also renewed what we call an affiliate program, which essentially is marketing that comes into our fold. So they've partnered with us on an affiliate type of program, which helps with our acquisition strategy. So an additional essentially of $7 million of investment to drive some of the key periods for us. We surpassed $1 billion in wagering since launch. We're far past that now, but that was quite a milestone as the business significantly increases month over month and year over year. We're hyper focused on product and enhancements. This is part of the experience. In some ways, we're in the relationship business because we're building relationships with our players. But it all starts with a premium product and the best of breed product. When we launched, we had Insights, which is our content 1.0. We've significantly enhanced that, and we're in the final stages of rolling that out, which will be in August. But we launched Insights 2.0, which is some of our secret sauce. And then we've expanded the product offering, and we coded it NorthStar Elite. That's not only our customer care and our experience that we're offering to our players, but also our product as we launch the first branded tables in Q1. And we're seeing really significant returns from those initiatives. The second is the market expansion. I think, as we said earlier, we have the opportunity to launch and roll out the business in the rest of Canada outside of Ontario, which is the first regulated market, in partnership with the First Nations. And that gives us tremendous access to the rest of Canada and the market opportunity. We launched that and we are growing that now. So that all happened in first half. So lots of excitement, and you'll see more of the product enhancement and the expansion in the months to come. From a performance standpoint, I think it's very clear that we're seeing significant year-over-year performance from a very strong growing market. We have been growing faster than the market itself, which is really exciting. And you can see on the left, the wagering, the year-over-year is up significantly to 218 million. And Q1, we delivered just over $7 million of gross gaming revenue. And we expect to continue to see that growth in the coming quarters as the business expands and we grow faster than the market. I want to just talk to the opportunity in terms of the rest of Canada. As I've mentioned, this is a growth opportunity for us. As we learned the business in Ontario, we now have the opportunity to expand into outside of Ontario. And as mentioned, it's a $5.2 billion opportunity at maturity. But I think more importantly, it gives us a head start in the regulated market. Building databases and building relationships with your players in advance of a regulated market is key for us, and we're doing that as we launch in other provinces, in particular BC and Alberta, which I'll talk to shortly. The other piece is that all the media that we have spent and the marketing is now really transferable into other markets, especially the bleed from some of the traffic and the marketing that we do in Ontario bleeds into other provinces. And what I would like to talk about is, in particular, and as I mentioned, our strategy is to have the rest of Canada, but as markets begin to regulate, we will follow that lead. And there's an opportunity that will be opening up, which is the province of Alberta. It's the fourth largest province in Canada. We think it's going to be over $1 billion at maturity. And the reason for that is it's got some of the highest per capita GDP in Canada, 50% higher than the rest of Canada, or the average of the rest of Canada. And we're already building those databases and relationships with their players in the province. And hopefully that opens up in 2025, and it will most likely resemble a very similar business as Ontario, whereby both casino and sportsbook will open up and become regulated, which is different than many other jurisdictions in the US where they have one or the other. And I won't go into a lot of detail here, but essentially from a technology perspective, regulated business has one product, and then our rest of Canada business has a completely different product. What I mean by that is there are two different sites that we operate in. As new regulated markets open up, most likely we will need other sites to support that, but we're very capable of launching new sites in new jurisdictions over a period of time. We've proven that with the first two that we've done. So this is the cap table. You can see that I think the most important is directors and senior officers make up a good chunk of this. The cap table with two large investors that help to seed it, and our largest investor, which is Playtech, which is also a tech partner of ours as well. So it's fairly diversified as you look at this on the right-hand side. So what I'd like to do is just kind of summarize the things that I've spoken about, and I think the opportunity. One is just the massive market that we are operating in Canada, and taking a reasonable share of that is a significant revenue opportunity for NorthStar Gaming. We've partnered with the best of breed technology partners, a testament to the management team and a testament to the business model that we have. Not only the gaming content providers, but also Playtech. The experienced management team, which is by far our key asset for us and most precious asset. And we're seeing now that we're 2+ years into this, very attractive payback ratios, lower marketing, and this variable cost model allows us to punch through the clouds in the future and then drive profitability in the outer years. Thank you. I think, thanks for putting on the camera. I'm happy to answer a few questions in the chat if that works with the audience. So I'm going to, I've got one here. First question is, how does the Canadian online gaming market different from the U.S. market? I think there's a lot of differences. Obviously, the market is quite a bit larger, and it's being regulated a little faster in the U.S. But one of the big differences is that jurisdictions in the U.S. have a choice, not a choice, but they differ. Most of them are sports, and some of them are sports and casino, as you'll see in the Ontario market and our rest of Canada. That it is both casino and sports. And as I mentioned before, casino is 2/3, or iGaming is 2/3 of the overall market. So I would say Ontario is probably the number 2 market in North America, and Alberta will be most likely a top 10. Is the Canadian sports betting market regulated at the provincial level? What is the competitive environment, and our U.S. platforms focus on the Canadian market? So the answer is it is at the provincial level. I think we've said we've got 2 different models. One is the rest of Canada partnering with the First Nation, and then the regulated market. But it is regulated at the provincial market. And as it relates to competitive environment, yes, lots of international competition. As I mentioned, there's 20% of the overall market that is open for local niche players. That's where we play, and that is a significant opportunity in Canada. As I mentioned, 1.3 billion. But there definitely are U.S. platforms. I think one of the benefits is that we have very clearly a very strong, one of the strongest tech partners in our backyard that has global representation. So we're able to leverage that. Yeah, can you speak to any future promotion efforts, and are you seeing promising results from recent and current promotions? I think, generally speaking, I think you can see by our payback ratios that it's very promising. Where our payback ratios are very low, which means that we are really targeting our players in a very unique way. I would say, we just invested in Euro and Copa, and we saw very strong results from that. Very unique promotional activity that's focused on the local market. That I think that the international players just don't have the same feel. So that's on the promotional side. Let me see what else. So how does a small company like NorthStar compete in Canada against the major international players? I think really good question. There's multiple aspects to this, and I think now that we are 2+ years into maturity, we're really seeing the marketing efficiency come online. But I'll talk about a few things in terms of competitive advantage. I've spoken about the partnership with our global technology leaders, and that is really providing us with a unique experience. And we layer unique UI and UX design on top of that. And we have tremendous knowledge of the local market, which is really helping us support the promotional activity and our speak to the local market needs. Our media partnership with NorthStar and how we've acquiring through the funnel has been key to us and a huge differentiator. And I think one of the largest or more significant is our unique proprietary content and how we flow that user through the journey of playing. We've invested heavily in our premium brand positioning, which is playing out quite well. And of course, our superior customer experience. Most of the contact, ironically enough, is phone. We actually speak to our players with live operators, and we've got some of the best customer care within the industry, which is really building relationships with our players directly. One of the questions is, can you discuss your client acquisition strategy, channels, and cost? I mean, we don't split the channels and cost out, but I will tell you that our channel strategy is very diverse between our above the line, below the line, our digital, our affiliates. We have a very balanced channel. I think that comes with a little more maturity around our business over the last year, and we're seeing that play out. So I would say, like a traditional operator, we have a very diversified channel to acquire our players in the Canadian market and growing. I think that is it, everybody. That is the number of questions. I want to thank everybody for their time. Appreciate you listening in. And if there's anything further, we can set up face-to-face or have calls.